Hello, Hughezy. It's Tony from Once Over with Kaylee and your own show. I just wanted to congratulate you on your new surround sound subwoofer for your home cinema with the electric recliner chairs and 4K HD screen that's 9 by 7 feet wide. I heard the only thing better than your home cinema is the laughter you bring to others 24/7. I wish I was Hughezy. I am TDSNINV. I'm tedious and I envy you. Son of a bitch. Go.
That's right, I've got stuff that Tony doesn't have. That means I win, and that's all that matters. Back with a good round table today of potentially 5 men, 5 lads, telling it like it is and maybe having a little couple of drinks. And of course, can't do it without Ekul. How you doing today, Ekul?
Oh, good, pal. Just finished work. I wouldn't miss this for the world, mate.
So fucking what?
And of course, we have got the guest of the day, because the other ones are running late. We get the lovely and talented Tom Myers. Tom, how are you doing today?
Oh, I am going to be judging you fuckers. I'm going to be judging the fuck out of everybody here today. So I'm doing absolutely splendid. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Well, thanks for accepting the link. But the one thing I just going to start off with the plug. So in the if we get a 1 super chat of any donation,
Whoa.
I'm going to start drinking, because I will not drink until I get 1 donation.
Hey, oh, you just got your donation then. So we're going down. We're going downhill now.
Exactly. And I didn't mean a financial donation. I just meant any type of, oh shit, I almost donated to myself. But I've also got a poll question that sort of leads into the first topic, which I'd love to ask you about. Tom, can I call you Tom?
People have called me a lot worse, but go ahead. You can call me Tom.
Smelly whore.
Yeah, they've called me that too.
Yeah. So the question in the poll is, are the jokes about Kevin Brennan's brother going too far? The options are yes, families off limits. No, Brennan had this coming. Who cares? Hit the like button and give YouTube memberships. But Tom, you of course you're a comedian, and of course this is the comedian theme song. See,
what's the deal? Live streams, everybody.
What's the deal?
I feel the need to go live. My opinion is so important. I need to tell the internet.
Look at this.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go. There we are. It's party time. Well, Hughezy can drink for me, the teetotal 13 plus years sober panelist.
Jesus. One of you doing Guinness, one of you doing Coke. Jesus, it's a real party.
Yeah, sounds like my St. Patrick's Day.
Hey.
Right. But yeah, so tell me about the your opinion on the brand stuff, Tom, because of course you're a comedian, you're out there making jokes about black guys and stuff. But do you think that stuff like this, when it comes to Brennan, and not even just Brennan, but family at all, do you think that's when it goes too far, or do you think this is kind of like everything's fair game, and this is, and specifically when it comes to Brennan, is it what do you call it? Karma for a lot of the jokes and the shit that he's been saying lately, baby?
I mean, well, as someone, as you said, who have joked about black guys, and by black guys, I mean black eyes, domestic violence. So,
Same thing, yeah.
I mean, like my thing is like, anybody can pretty much joke about what they want, in my opinion. Like the whole question is like, should you? Well, that's like a topic that's always open for discussion. Like I know of a video that's out there that I think Misery Loves Clips put up, But, unless like family actually gets involved in stuff, like unless the family member actually makes themselves public, like I think, talking about right Kevin's brother, right, Neil would be okay because Neil is famous, he's well known. So I think like that's something that would be crossed, but like any other siblings or family members who want to be private citizens, I'm just like, generally, unless they've come after, unless said family members have come after me, I'm just like, fuck it, leave them alone. Like I got plenty of other shit I'd like to joke about.
Well, we have just been joined by the lovely and talented Adam Busch. And Adam, the topic of conversation is this gentleman here.
Go suck a dick!
And whether or not the jokes about his brother passing away are too far or fair game. Have any of you three guys ever met before?
No, we have never met. I've never met you, Hughezy. I've never met you, Tom, but I remain a big fan, and I'm very excited to meet the pineapple.
I've seen the pineapple in my chat. If that is the same Ekul, I believe, then it's a pleasure to put it's a pleasure to put the not the face, but a pleasure to put the valued source of nutrition to the name.
Hey,
Yes, exactly.
well, if you see my tagline, I know what you did last summer. Wouldn't mind taking Jennifer Love Hewitt's Busch to my face. Am I right, guys? What a great joke. We're having a good time.
That would have been a great joke if it was like 1998. So I'm glad you're finally catching up with the times, Hughezy.
Gunfights!
But Adam, do you think that these jokes about Brennan's family are too far, or do you think this is legitimate karma?
I didn't hear them, and I don't know what happened to his brother. Do you mind filling me in?
Basically, his brother was born with a medically small penis, and he was trying to stretch it out. So he tied a dumbbell to the end of it and went for a walk, tripped over his cat, fell into a pool and couldn't get out because of the weight on his dick. And he sadly drowned, but his penis did grow by 1/4 of an inch. So the silver lining.
His brother died. His brother died, is what I think he's trying to tell you.
Yeah, I assumed he was getting to the point where...
Yeah, Ekul, you fucking piece of shit. I was trying to talk about a dead man's dick, and then you make me look bad in front of... by the way...
The Irish are great storytellers, man. Let them riff. God damn it.
See?
Really? Made me think of Aussie guy there with that story. That was great.
So, what do you think, Adam? Do you think that Brennan's...
Based on all the new information I have?
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, what's his name? El Horrible was joking about it on Twitter, and there's people kind of trolling his comments, and I just think that, like, as far as Brennan has taken it, it's like the Stuttering John thing, where he's like, yeah, well, they did it first. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that makes it okay to do it back. Right, Brown Eyes?
I'll assume that's me. I don't know. I'm not going to weigh in on anything I don't know about. And I've asked you 3 times now to explain it to me. And you don't have to, but I certainly am not going to offer an opinion about something like that until I know what happened. I don't think it would be
me to translate?
Please, go ahead.
Sure. Okay. So KB's brother, not the famous one, passed away, I think maybe by his own actions. Very sad, obviously. And some people are being like, well, KB likes to joke about when people pass away, so we're going to do the same. So I think Hughezy is trying to say, do 2 wrongs make a right, Adam, or not? I think that's essentially where he's trying to get.
Did his penis end up growing or not? Was that...
No, unfortunately not. No, I've tried that. It doesn't work.
Don't lie to him. 1/4 of an inch.
Okay.
And growth is growth, okay?
There's a trade-off.
You're being a piece of shit today, Ekul. I'm just going to tell you.
There's an upside. I would honestly have to hear the jokes that he said, but I haven't heard Kevin Brennan make a joke in years, if not decades.
He didn't say it about his own brother, just to say. KB didn't say it about his own brother.
So what were you asking me?
But basically, do you think that the jokes that people are making about him...
that people are making about...
Yeah, because it's the same people who have criticized Brennan for the jokes that he's made about others and stuff. And now, like, when it comes to... Lady K, people have said shit about his wife, but now those same people who criticized wife jokes are now going, your fucking brother died, which, you know, in this day and age is kind of funny when you think about it, but compared to the classics, it's not, you know, it's no fucking episode of Frasier where they all get stoned, am I right?
I'd like to see that. But if, you know, I asked you to weigh in on something that you didn't know about, and I kept insisting, and then you did, and you couldn't stand by it. I don't know. I don't quite know what I'm saying yet. I'm just waking up. But the point is, you can't return what you don't think is fair. I don't think you can. If you're not comfortable having those jokes done towards you, then you shouldn't do them to others. However, I find nothing wrong with pointing out the hypocrisy of what Kevin does.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's really what he is, a massive hypocrite, and that's obviously the worst thing anyone could be, especially pedophiles. So I don't mind you being a pedo, just don't lie. Speaking of which, we get a super chat here by Chris Abels. Thanks for the 5. From Tom, what is your take on Shuley befriending, enabling, and defending his producer Iso, all true statements before Snake Bush tries to interject?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think. First off, I'm full disclosure. I have no problem with Shuley. Like I like the guy. Like he's always been civil towards me. So go ahead and take that for what you will. But to the best of my knowledge, he hasn't really defended his producer since all that shit came out. So like you can like befriend pretty much anyone you want. It's just a matter of when certain information comes out or when you find out something about somebody, then that's when it's crunch time. That's when you got to make that decision. Like
so these critics have clearly seen fucking Minority Report and think that there's a device where everybody can see into the future of what every crime is somebody's going to do. It's like really, Adam, you didn't know that one guy that time was going to steal that tip from the waitress? What the fuck? It's like, yeah, well, it happened 47 years ago. I think that the Shuley criticism is insane, and this is the reaching of reaching. That's why I loved Adam's BYB appearance with that Nazi guy Quad, who can walk, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Is it all right for me to talk now, Chris Abels? Or have I gotten to Hughezy ahead of time and spoiled all of your fun? Because I wished I had time from yesterday to bring out... there's this clip from the Quad show I want you to see. And in this clip, I will send it to you, Hughezy. They're going on and on. Quad and his backyard boys are talking about... all the horrible things that Shuley did and going in the minutia and how he was harboring, all of this stuff. And at some point, it gets in, they're upset that Shuley didn't say it sooner based on their imagined timeline. And that's fine. However, one of the Quad gets so up on his little pony horse, he starts talking about how Shuley didn't want to tell anyone about it. He wouldn't tell anyone about it. In fact, if he wasn't found guilty of it, he wouldn't even tell anyone. He wouldn't tell anyone about it. And his boy had to interrupt him and say, well, Quad, if he wasn't found guilty of it, that would mean he didn't do it. So why would he go tell anyone? Quad is already upset with this guy after he's been acquitted in his mind about what Shuley didn't do. So it becomes very clear the guy he's not looking for, a resolve or any kind of solution. He just wants to hate this guy and will just jump to the next reason. And once one is proven wrong.
You're completely right. I just Quad has a problem with Shuley. And let's not jump to conclusions, but I'm pretty proud that I can guess why one of those backyard boys were able to have a problem with Shuley. And I just think that this is... Even for Quad, this is like the reach of all reaches, which is saying something because he's in a wheelchair.
And he refuses to back down on anything in front of people. And he thinks that makes him I don't know, macho or something. He's backed down from every single point he's made. And while you're discussing it with him, he just changes the meaning. That's not what we were saying at all. 100%. That's not what we were saying. We were saying that Shuli didn't know because he was late on the timeline. That's all we've ever been saying. And then 2 seconds later, he's like, I never said he was late on the timeline. I never said it. Never said it. Never said it. You know, okay, so then there's just no point in talking to you. And he thinks a debate is like Showtime at the Apollo. He doesn't understand it's supposed to be someone supposed to hopefully have learned something.
Yeah, the great thing about Quad is that we now know what it would sound like if Sam Elliott had a podcast and wouldn't accept defeat on an issue. Like surely didn't know, and there's no way he would have. Like, he's a very family guy. Speaking of Quad, this is him wearing one of his P. Diddy shirts from Puddle of Age. Thanks for the $2. Love me, Tom. I think he meant to say some. Do you have any nipple ring jokes?
Well, I do have nipple rings, whoever that chatter just was, and no, you can't see them. No, you can't see them unless you subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/Tom Myers. Every single nipple ring photo I've ever taken is up there. So feel free to go ahead and check them out.
Just of yourself or of other nipples as well?
No, mine. It's my Patreon. I don't share with anybody.
We have been joined by a fifth member of the table, so we will cheers them. Welcome to the stage, Christian.
You guys are having a great conversation. I don't want to get in the way. Besides, I'm getting ready for Who Are These Broadcasters at 2 p.m. Eastern, but I feel like I need to chime in with something really important, Hughezy. Ekul Pineapple, you are a tremendous and undistinguished cunt.
Got you, Ekul.
That was nice.
Yeah.
He's proud of it too. Like, he knows. I'm like, yeah, and big fucking deal.
Well, to be fair, Ekul's ancestor did used to own mine.
Yes,
so,
we still do, actually.
So I think that there just officially made up for it all. From Walter 325 for $5. This is the best gay lifestyle show on YouTube. Cheers, ladies, girls, actually. So I think we all look pretty young. But
just to answer a question that was right there in the chat really fast, he said, because I'm rambling a lot. What I said was that Quad refuses to admit he's wrong in front of anybody. He will admit it on the description of his episode the next day. He will admit it, in private, and he will change the argument to make it seem like he hasn't backed down, when in reality he has. He'll claim what you're saying he meant is not what he meant. He said that we have a script and that Carl gets very upset if you go off the script, because he's trying to say that we all follow a party line that's dictated by Carl, and if we don't follow that, Carl gets upset. That's what he said. So when I proved him wrong with facts and information, that's never what I said at all. I was saying that this actor thinks that following a script means that he has a script. I never said that. I said that they have a plan in advance of what they're going to do. Quad, it's a fucking clip show. Of course we know in advance what we're going to do. That's how a clip show works. I can't send the clips without him knowing. But that's the extent of it, and that's not what you meant, because what would be the point of saying we have a plan? You're saying it's a party line. So he just changes it and refuses to admit it, but he knows.
Tom,
I actually do have to stick up for Quad to some extent. There was a few weeks ago he made he made some kind of a statement. Oh, thank you, Matt Wilson. He did make some kind of statement about me, and I won't go into too many details about it. But I pointed out that I pointed out where he was incorrect about something, or that I had retracted something, or apologized for something, and then he went ahead and recognized the retraction. So it's to say he's absolutely never taken anything back or walked anything back. That's not entirely true. So I do have to kind of correct.
What did he walk back? I missed what you said. He walked back. You said something about you.
So I corrected him about something. He acknowledged the correction, and he made a retraction. Basically, he did a mea culpa. So
Yeah, you're not an enemy of his, correct? He hasn't decided that you're unsalvageable, correct?
I'm not an enemy this week. You know how
Right.
this universe is.
Right.
I mean, like, Eccle's a nice guy. He's always cool in my chat when I've live streamed. And the next live stream I do, he could act like a complete dickhead. So it could be, things can change with the tide. That's why
Absolutely.
my
And
entire life's not about this fucking hackverse or dabbleverse or shitverse or whatever we're calling it.
Well, think about it like this. I come on here within 2.5 minutes. Chris Abels is we got to talk about Shuli. And then 2 seconds later, Hughezy brings up Quad. And what does the chat say? Adam will not stop talking about Shuli and Quad. This guy's obsessed.
It's content. It gets clicks. It gets views, and that's ultimately why they bring them up.
All right, so we'll go to Hughezy's point. I won't respond to any of that, and I'm sure that will make that go away. If I let people know that just gonna shut my mouth.
You're just gonna be like all the Trump relatives when they testify in depositions. I plead the fifth.
Try not to get political. Try not to get political.
Answer. Well, you were on the Adam. You were on the wrong fucking episode because I'm gonna get amped up for this one.
Okay, please.
Do you mean Donald Trump, the actor
from Home Alone 2? That guy?
That guy.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Let's show some respect to the classics here. Jesus Christ.
The classics.
Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone 1, and I stand by it. Tim Curry should have got a Golden Globe nomination. He was hilarious in it. Right?
No.
This is a Tim Curry show, by the way.
Isn't it?
No, if people don't love him in Legend, then you're in ESO. That's the rumor I spread about people. But I do love listening to Adam because Adam's what I would call a fancy book learner. He's intelligent. He's got insight on this shit, where the rest of us just go, "That seems kind of gay." Adam actually goes,
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
You know, when you think about it, it's sort of like this. When the rest of us are going, I bet he farts as well. Right, Ekul?
So, Adam, yes, exactly. Adam, do you know, you've watched quite a bit of Dabbleverse, obviously, before you kind of joined in. Do you remember Phil Elmore, or did it overlap when Phil Elmore was kind of around?
Oh, yeah,
I've had a lot of comparisons where people have gone, oh, Adam Busch, he's just Phil Elmore. He's just a skinny Phil Elmore. And I was an Elmoron myself. I quite enjoyed when we could just watch an hour of him just talking about something rather than it having to be shocking or funny or like outrageous. And I think people genuinely don't get that. They're like, no, I need the craziest thing possible. It's like, yeah, that worked great with John. We all got really bored of that when you just get escalating and escalating. I enjoy just hearing sometimes people talk about stuff. Even
and El Moron, is that what you said?
Like
El Moron, is that the newest?
That's what we call ourselves.
El Moron.
Yes.
Well, of course, the lovely Adam Busch is joining us. He was just at the Hackamania event over the weekend, where a lot of craziness was revealed about one of Tom's best targets, the lovely Aaron Imholte. And I've actually got audio of him with Nick Rekida's dick.
Accurate.
True. And but to tell me about this, Tom. So this shit that's come out over the weekend about Steel Toe, I have opinions on it, but I know that because I'm a kind of a pro Steel Toe guy. We still every once in a while talk boxing off. As you can see, I'm very masculine. I have a red Perry shirt on. I think that explains everything about my toughness. But Tom, when you heard all this news that broke, especially this weekend, what do you think about what happened, baby?
So the weekends, I completely shut my podcasting brain off because I do public address announcing for youth baseball tournaments near me, which is a great escape from all of this bullshit. So
is that a gay thing?
Well, I tell you what, Adam's going to go into Adam will go into, won't just say it's gay. He'll go into a whole long explanation and a very thoughtful analysis about why it could be gay. No, I mean, it's just an escape. It's an escape for me, and it's fun, and it's a great way to just get away from, like I said, get away from all.
Are you calling the games? Is that what you're doing? Like announcing the play-by-play? Is that what it is?
Like Rex Barney used to do at Camden Yards, or not play-by-play. Like just what you call it? What was his name at Yankee Stadium? He did
batting.
Derek Jeter, number 2.
Derek Jeter. That's
was
a
his
dream
name?
gig. That's really fun. I can't remember. I know the organ player was Eddie Clayton, and the announcer was I can't remember.
It's on the. It's I would know it any other time, but right now. But I know Rex Barney was the guy in Baltimore at Camden Yards. He would always be the guy who said "Thank you" and just have that really long stretched. He's Bob Shepard. Someone said in the chat, Bob Shepard.
Okay.
That was his name. But and I'm from Baltimore, so Rex Barney's the GOAT. But yeah, that's my that's what I do on the weekends during baseball season. So it is fun.
Adam, would you like to read this one?
Luigi Greenberg. The pineapple loves to smell American farts. Love you, pineapple. I'm jealous that you got to meet Tom Myers. And that Jewish fella, he is smart and handsome. Are they talking about you, Tom? Who are we talking about?
Tom, you're Jewish. I didn't know that. Wasn't tough.
Well, no, I'm a proud Catholic now that we have a Pope who's not only an American but a baseball fan. So let's
Congratulations.
play ball. Thank you. Yeah.
I wonder what his boyfriend thinks.
I can feel it.
That's good.
Yeah.
But as a Catholic, I think Tom probably has a lot of experience in saying, I support this side of the organization. I don't support this side of the organization. And I can pray, donate money, devote my life, my family, my children to a thing and decide that I approve of, that I don't. And maybe that's okay? Or is that encouraging horrible things?
No, I mean, listen, I think the reason a lot of people seem frustrated with me is because I do tend to kind of go on long-winded answers a bit. I will admit that I'm not exactly the most concise person in this podcasting game, but like my brain is very nuanced, so I can kind of see like certain sides to certain issues. So it's not like I'm being wishy-washy. I'm just I like to be a little more. I'm definitely a lot more thoughtful than I was during the boozing days of my mid-20s.
But to answer my question, that was cool about the alcohol and stuff, but I did ask a question.
Cool.
What was the question? It did get lost in there. I apologize.
So we can't, well, without making analogies, you support Catholicism. Catholicism, one part of it might be okay. Another part of it might be the most evil documented thing in the history of this planet. And somehow it is completely okay in society on this chat right now, on this Zoom, to pick and choose the sides we like. You know, I like this side of them. I don't like this side of them. Is that something we can apply here to all of these issues that we're dealing with? Because what a lot of people are saying is it's all or nothing. If you watch the Uncle Rico show, you support PDF files. That's what you're doing. So is that what you're doing by supporting the Catholic Church?
Yes.
Am I supporting all the scandals that the Catholic Church has been involved in? No,
mostly the raping.
not.
It's the raping of the children we're talking about, not the scandals. We're not talking about like cheating on your taxes. We're talking about the systematic abuse and then hiding of that abuse for decades, if not centuries.
Oh, that part, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
But like any organization, like any person, like you're not going to necessarily agree, 100% on what they do. Like the only person
this isn't like agreeing. This isn't like my boss likes Trump. I like Biden. I don't know what to do. This is, the definition of pure systematic, organized evil.
And they got Coldplay their record contract.
It gets worse and worse the more I hear. The more I learn. It's just, I didn't even know that.
There's a
But no, I don't support, like the Catholic Church has done a lot of good things, which I do support, but a lot of the bad stuff, like you said, the abuse, the covering up of it, not so good. So that part, I don't support it. But I think they are slowly, not as quick as I'd like, but they're redeeming themselves, and they're definitely trying to make amends to the best that they can. So
Adam,
Sorry,
were you trying to make?
we have 80 watching, but we have 40 likes. If we could maybe match the views to likes we're getting there. Anyway, go ahead, Ekul.
Yeah,
39 of them are my alleged sock accounts. So come on, people, step it up. Come on.
Brilliant. One more try. Adam, are you trying to make a comparison between people not liking TSN because of naughty old ISO, but not appreciating all of the amazing Stuttering John moments they brought to them? Is that what you're trying to say there?
I don't know if I agree with either of those statements.
Or are you trying to get Tom to apologize on behalf of
Well,
the
that would
new
make me feel
American
better,
folk?
yes. If Tom would just be a representative right now. And well, that is interesting because, when he's proud of the Pope, he's like, that's my boy. That's me. Well, look at what we did. But when it comes to this, it's like, we don't. And it is a decent question. Like, I am applying it not specifically to that, but in general to all of these things that we say. There's just such unbelievable... It seems to be a trait where we can say whatever we want about anybody, but the second it comes to us, most of the people in the Dabbleverse are like, what the fuck? How dare you? That is not what we're talking about. Like, it's just different. And I see it in a lot of people. I see it in people on this screen, and I try my best not to be like that. Most criticism about me, I agree with. I'm self-loathing just enough to, like, agree with those points and not feel that I am off limits.
I'm a Baltimore sports fan. We're all about self-loathing. So
there you go. And you don't have to answer the question because I love The Wire. I really do.
Even season 1?
Of course, all of it.
Yes.
I was a homicide guy myself, but
that's where it starts.
Of course.
Okay, I gotta address this super chat here from Chris Abels, who's I know Chris, he's a good egg. Bush is obsessed with Shuli, Iso, and Coldplay fandom.
I'm so obsessed I keep spending money to bring it up. Yeah,
Chris, you asked a question. You asked a question, and he answered it. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
And then he goes, "See, this guy, he won't stop."
Everybody, it's like everybody in this podcasting universe, like from some of the chatters, even to the hosts, it's like they get something, they see it on Reddit, they see it in a chat, and they just run with it without any evidence whatsoever. That's like it's like Hughezy asked me something about I can identify with this sentiment, Rochi. Thank you. Yeah. But it's like Hughezy asked me a question. I just said, listen, I'm not going to speculate about it because I don't have all the info, because I like to step away from this and I have a fucking life.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to say that, unfortunately, Tom. If you say I need a minute or I don't have all the facts, you're just avoiding the question and supporting whoever they're asking you about.
You know where you are allowed to say that, Adam? Tom Myers versus the rest of the world, available on my Patreon, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Just got my.
I'm going to have to stop by there. I'm going to have to pop in, check out the nipple rings, buy some merch, and say hello.
And you got to listen to the entire episodes, not the opening monologue.
Oh,
definitely.
Okay.
Oh shit! But the thing that I gotta defend Adam on that is that he's not defending anyone. He's talking about the ridiculousness, if that's even the word, of a accusation. Like it's a stupid thing to try to label Shuli in with the crime. Like I'm from fucking Belfast. I know a lot of criminals. Ekul. So, like, we're not all. I'm on your side, Adam.
Thank you, Hughezy. You don't have to be on my side.
That's
and then we can drop it. No, it's not. The important thing is that the point you just made, which is the hashtag Shuli knew, right? Whatever that means, what I responded to that when I keep being asked that question was exactly what Tom said. I said, No, I don't know if Shuli knew. I can't weigh in on this. How would I know? I don't know. You don't know. And they take that as I'm saying he didn't know. I'm just saying nobody knows, but that's not enough.
So the steel toe thing. Seeing as we're on the topic still.
Oh yeah, of course.
You were asking about Phil Elmore, so
Yeah. So Andrew Dice Clay, right? Yeah. So basically, Tom, over the weekend, it's come out that that Adam can add more context to it. It's come out that Aaron admitted to. How do we say this without being vulgar?
English.
Sucking fucking Nick McKidd has come out of his balls. I think is a way you could put it. Not
I
to
think
be rude.
specifically.
I mean, everybody knew that already. I mean, he pretty much admitted that when I trolled him about it on his live stream. So that part's not news. Like he held up.
Adam can clarify.
He held up that sign when I asked him like how did Nick's cum taste. He held up that sign and said like the coke he fed his kids. Like he
Nothing
was
like a nice vagina.
Like he was trying to own me, but it was like, okay, that wasn't really an own because you're just admitting what I asked you about.
Can I say one thing in defense of Aaron?
No. Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
But the entire evidence against Steel Toe right now is that somebody wrote a text, and like Adam could give me his number and could save my name as George Lucas, and I could be like, "That's right, Adam. You did invent Star Wars. You legally own all the money that came from Star Wars." And people could go, "See, George Lucas texted me, and that's the proof that we need." So for me,
there's a slight difference there.
okay,
Hughezy,
you
though,
talk.
sorry.
I'm only the greatest host of all time.
You are, but you're missing a few points if you want a fair show. So there's a bit of a difference there. If he also had George Lucas on his phone and he had spoke with George Lucas and George Lucas had gone, "Yes, I've spoke many times with Hughezy and we have a back and forth," that's more of the scenario because they've both acknowledged that they were in some sort of weird relationship together. They've acknowledged that they met each other. They hung around with each other, obviously. They talked back and forth with each other. So it's not exactly the same. And to add a little bit of credibility to what you're saying, it would help if that example was a bit more accurate. But apologies. I'll stop interrupting with facts. Sorry.
But I've been talking with Adam in DMs through Instagram for about a week or two. That doesn't mean that if I somehow Photoshop the tweet of Adam saying actually it was you, Hughezy, that invented Star Wars, which I fucking did, by the way. Like I just think that a text is not enough proof. I literally want to see video footage of Aaron Imholte eating somebody else's cum. I want to see it, and
You and me both, big boy. Yeah.
This guy gets it right here.
Well, I haven't had a good spanking off in a while, god damn it. I need some motivation.
That's not what I heard. But Adam,
are you hacking my webcam again? Hughezy, damn it.
But of that opinion, Adam, if you could understand any of the words that I said, well, what do you think? Because to me, I think that this, what's the term, lol-cowness of Steel Toe, I think it's everybody's piling on without any actual, like, genuine evidence, like all that fake stuff they brought up about OJ with his ex-wife. He clearly didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm always with you, and then right at the end you jump off this cliff, and then I'm not with you anymore. I don't know what happened. What was the question?
Yeah, but basically, for me, I think that with Steel Toe, people pile on him more than they have actual reasons to give him shit. So it's like everybody's saying, let's all pile on so that they don't turn around and come after me. And I'm sure Hackamania was great. And if I was legally allowed to enter America, I probably would. But I did that thing in New York a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
But
I mean, we got one thing right.
True. But so, what do you think about my opinion on that, Adam? That steel toe, the people don't have the evidence to really go after steel toe.
They don't. They have a feeling, and unfortunately, fuck your feelings. You can't argue with somebody's feelings. However, a lot of it has to do, and I think Tom can attest to this, with how they react, how we react to this stuff. Do you know what I mean? What we think. A lot of it is just guessing. You know, Vince, the lawyer, loves to talk to people on his show. He says, I see Princess Diana's here in the chat. She's not in the chat. You know, he calls me out. He says, I'm in the chat. I'm not. I'm looking back 2 weeks later and you're talking to me because if I was, that would fuck with me, right? It would really get into my head. Like, how does he know that I'm watching? That's crazy. So it's how these people like Aaron react. They don't let it go. They cannot take a joke. And this is the part that does bother me. They're absolutely comfortable saying anything they can about anybody else. But when it comes to them, there is no sense of humor. And that is endlessly entertaining. And a big staple of this Dabbleverse is these overreactions to the same things that they do. Whether all of these details that happen this weekend are true or not, I don't think a lot of them are. But I think an ex was talking about X, Nick was talking about his ex and giving us a pretty accurate idea of the stuff they did. Whether those are actually April's texts or he was like, look, honey, I'm going to do this thing. And she's like, yeah, go for it. Whatever you want. I think he gave us a little look into what goes in there. I think it's pretty accurate. I think to answer your question specifically, what was really revealed at Hackverse is that Nick is very much, he's not that different from Aaron in terms of how they're handling this stuff, because it is and I'm a fan of Nick's and I think he's intelligent and I would love to be a friend of his, but he's not in a good place right now and he is in a downward spiral, and at a time when he needs to be not thinking about his ex, we invited him to come and just relish in all of his worst instincts. It's like, a heroin addict going to a heroin convention. It's like, this is just not what he needs right now. So I do feel that. It's at 3:00 in the morning. The show's been over for 8 hours and he's at the bar still showing the text and rambling and talking to anyone that will listen, which was me. I was willing to listen. And there was one dabbler there watching us because the show never stopped. He's still living it. It's still going on. So in terms of bang for your buck, that kid got more than you can believe. It's like going to see the Tina Turner movie and then he's beating her up right in front of you. You're like, this is amazing. This is incredible. That is worth it. But we got to be careful. We got to be careful in who we pick and choose. When we said Aaron's evil and Nick's not, that's a bit of everybody's to blame. Everybody has some good. Everyone has some bad.
Well, to be honest, I think that Tina kind of disrespected Ike and she didn't show the respect to the songs that he wrote. So maybe she had it coming.
Did you hear me pick a side on that? Did you hear me do that?
This guy gets it. This is what I like.
We like Ike. That's the expression, right? They were talking about Ike Turner.
No,
right?
they were not. They were not.
The other Ike.
But everyone loves Dwight D. Eisenhower humor. They do. They love that.
There's nothing funnier than joking about punching a woman in the face before some SA. I'm just saying, guys. But a nice compliment here from a blind Mike. Tom and Adam are two of the great minds of our time.
I don't know if that's a compliment. Thank you, blind Mike.
The two of the great minds of this episode, anyway, at least.
I mean, listen, blind Mike doesn't mince words. He's honest. He's honest as fuck, man. I like it.
One of the things I've got to say though about Nick Rekieta, because I'm not really a fan, is that if they're fucking trying to say, oh yeah, Aaron's the bad guy, I'll call him Steel Toe, because when I say Aaron, it sounds like I'm saying iron. I get it, I hear it now. But with fucking
yeah, that's the word that's been the problem. It's been that word.
Swag for that. But I think that with Steel Toe, so the big controversy is that he's admitted to a sexual thing, or at least there's evidence of him admitting to that. It's like, right, okay, that's maybe not exactly my Google search, but Nick Rekieta's kids had fucking cocaine in their hair. I'm okay with people being swingers or being bisexual. I'm not okay with kids wasting precious drugs. We could have done that, guys. And got all
Wait till
fucked
they're
up.
adults, man. Come on.
They're greedy. You know what? I wish Ike Turner was there when those fucking kids turned up with all that stolen drugs. I'm just saying. But what do you think, Tom? Are you going to double down going after Steel Toe with this compact information, or may you play with your penis instead?
I mean, I could do both, you know. I mean, listen, you know, I'm very like I said, I'm very nuanced. I can do like one. I'm not absolute one thing or the other. But no, my going after Steel Toe was just as a result of, okay, let me see if I can do this. Let me go ahead and try and throw this rock at something and see if it's a hornet's nest. And that's pretty much been my MO these many years. So I went ahead and trolled him with a super chat. And then he got flustered, got thrown off. And then like the following couple of episodes, he devoted at least like roughly 20 minutes of each episode, because I counted them up and played them on my live stream, dedicated to me and talking about me. And like for some reason, whenever like Steel Toe went after me and trashed me like that, like it's just so easy. It was like shooting fish in a barrel watching it, man. It's enjoyable. So if I do go back to live streaming, just because I have like other stuff I'm doing now, so I don't have the time for that. But if I do go back, I mean, he'll definitely be a target, just because like we're on at the same time. So I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and try this. Let's throw this shit against the wall, see if it sticks.
How do you handle, Tom, when people come after you? Because they come after you for a lot of the same things you're talking about, or a lot of the same style that you went after Steel Toe. How do you handle it when it comes at you?
I mean, I was trained by the Maryland public school system, so like it's just water off a duck's back for me, and sometimes, and
would you say that's what you give off, that it's water off a duck's back?
But most of the times, I'll go ahead and do that. Like I'll go ahead and strike back. You know, if I feel that it's worth my time, and
does it hurt you personally? Serious question. Like, does it actually hurt you, or is it a case by case basis, or what?
No,
it doesn't hurt you.
No, it doesn't. Like I said, the toughest room I ever worked was the men's locker room at Fallston High School in Fallston, Maryland. Go Cougars. And so I basically just I picked up my comedy chops, just deflecting bullies and jocks and upperclassmen to the point where like I was like the only freshman they would allow to hang out with them and like goof off and fuck around during gym class. So
so you were included. You weren't bullied. You were like one of the guys.
Pretty much. Yeah. Like I would socialize with the jocks during gym class. At lunch, I would socialize with the D&D kids. Like I never assigned myself with any one particular clique. And then when I wasn't hanging out with anybody, I would just do my own thing anyway.
You learned how to take insults and not be offended because you were bullied so much. But at the same time, you were also accepted by all of the groups and all of the cliques, and were like the one person who could socially just do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, man, I could be a social chameleon when I want to be.
But also while being bullied so much that you can take any kind of insults that come your way because you've been trained on the streets of Baltimore in that specific bathroom.
Balmer, hon, lose the T.
Which one is it? Were you bullied or were you a hero as a kid? Which one was it?
I mean, it started off being one, and then eventually I worked my way up to the ladder. Okay. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work.
No, that would be, then you can empathize with both sides. That makes sense.
Did you?
I ask Adam a question, Hughezy?
Huh?
Sorry.
Can I ask Adam a relevant question, please, Hughezy?
Yeah, but I was going to accuse Tom of being a racist first, but
Oh, let him do that. Let him do. Shh, go ahead.
Yeah. Go.
I mean,
Hey,
I am a white guy in a country that voted nearly 60% for Donald Trump, so it's a rational assumption to make.
the actor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, go ahead, Echo.
Thank you so much. So, Adam, we were talking about Tom and him being bullied some. Out of interest, you've been on WATP quite a while now. Have you done any of the episodes that have reviewed Tom? Do you know? I know he does it every so often. I'm just unsure.
I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have.
Yeah. So,
Well,
Tom, there you go. You're getting on very well with someone who's maybe had a few jokes at your expense right now. So, yeah, I guess you can hang with everyone. So that's good, Tom. Well done.
Right, but the whole point of WATP, which is another topic we'll bring up just as we're wrapping up, is that it's a roast show. It's not like a target and a bully show. But
Perspective,
just as we're
I like it, but perspective.
just as we're finishing up the steel toe segment, Tom dropped the N-word in the private chat. So this was a comment that Chris Abels left. He said it wasn't right what happened to you in the casting chairs, Adam, but two wrongs don't make a right. Stop talking about it.
Okay.
I don't understand why Chris is doing. If that's even the real Chris, because I've met him.
Or
And,
Vince Storia, maybe.
Yeah, it could be a skip my chat. Hughezy is soft. Soft. And this is the thing. I've also
He's not soft. He's inebriated. Get it right.
That's accurate.
True. And I haven't had an erection in 7 years.
Wow.
Jacob Ryan asked for thanks for the $2. Adam, why do you? I can hate this is surfer talk. Adam, why do you take yourself so seriously? Chill, brah.
Unfortunately, Jacob is 100% right.
Chill, brah is the thing that I'm selling to women so they can all have erect nipples for their IG photographs. And this is Adam is going to trash you tomorrow on WATP, his MO. I don't think
Bring it, fucker, bring it.
I'm reminded now, I know for a fact that I made fun of that you can't get your green screen right because I was looking at the green on your head right now, and I was reminded that, you got to dial that in.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I've tried like multiple times. Like I've tried fixing settings, and but I figure better a green hue than a wood paneling. So I'm like, I have that going for me.
No, you should fix it. Definitely, you could definitely fix it.
And here's a question. Oh fuck's sake! Wouldn't let me change the title. Hey Tom, ever done a Sunday matinee for old folks? That's from Dan from Nice Podcast. Stupid.
If by Sunday matinee you mean a championship youth baseball game at which I'm a public address announcer, then the answer is yes. And I have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, so take that, Dan. By the way, Adam, how is Josh Whedon?
Right now?
Great.
Josh!
Eventually.
Josh! Yeah, I got him in the trunk. He's good.
Excellent. I liked Avengers, and that's all I liked.
He's a very talented person. But you do bring up a point that on all these shows I've been doing, it's been kind of an experiment, jumping on everyone's shows in the Dabbleverse instead of just reviewing them or taking Carl's word for it or the clips that he pulled. I'm coming to speak to everyone individually and see what I think, so people can't say that I'm influenced. Do you know what I'm saying? And I've said to every one of these shows that I've been on, look at my IMDb, look at the people I've worked with. Maybe, just maybe, my experience has given me some just history, not even credibility, just some information, some experience with these awful topics. So what the fake Chris Abels is saying about me and the casting couch and all those things, it's like, yeah, the shit that you're speculating on, I've had to work for corporations and actors and directors and people that were monsters. We found out afterwards. We find out during. And when I hear fucking people telling people like me and everyone else how you're supposed to handle this and what we did wrong and what the correct way of processing this kind of stuff is, it does make me angry in a way that's unnecessary, and I should just chill, brah. But they don't do it. They don't look at until I'm on the screen with them. They won't do any research. They won't look at it. And it'd be like, if I had to deal with Kevin Spacey for decades, maybe I can just weigh in on this topic and you can listen for a second.
The actor?
Yes.
See, I was a extra on House of Cards because they filmed part of it, like literally like 10
Were you
minutes
really?
from my house. I played a congressman in one episode, and people
a gay
were
congressman?
and people were. But after all this stuff about Kevin Spacey came out, people said, "Tom, did you notice Kevin Spacey doing anything weird on set? Did you notice any of that?" And I said, "I'll be honest, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy getting a hand job from the guy who played Doug Stamper."
Doug Stamper? Is he Scottish? What's up with that, by the way? Because Justice for Kevin Spacey by Little Emmy, who notorious. I've noticed that, Tom. When you tell a joke, your voice goes up at the end. Like
right.
Sometimes it feels like you're being racist towards me. Where you go,
no, I'll tell you what.
Stamper?
People have mentioned that I do have sort of like an Irish inflection, and I haven't actually told this. I don't think I've mentioned this on any live stream, so I'll go ahead and give you the exclusive. My great-great-grandparents emigrated here from Ireland, and reportedly they had like a very thick Irish accent. And so my this is on my father's side of the family. My father was raised by my grandfather because like his mom died during childbirth. So probably like my great-great-grandparents gave it to my great-grandfather that inflection, who probably gave it to my dad, and so I probably got it from him. If that's if it's there, that's the likely source. What's the deal with inflections?
What's the deal with childbirth?
Who decided to talk like this?
On the final topic, of course, it was kind of mentioned earlier on, is of course the great WATP. Because one of the things, Tom, because I've noticed you mentioned, I think it was on your IG page where you said you were trying to get your watch time up and your watch hours up and stuff. I genuinely think, and this is speaking from experience, that if you went on WATP with Lady K, which is the hilarious nickname Carl has, I genuinely think that would, within say 48 hours, bring those people over to your show and you would instantly get the watch time that you would need. Because so if Carl goes live, he usually gets a minimum of 1,000 people. If you just stream for an hour, with 60, what does that work? That works out as 60,000 minutes viewed or whatever the fuck.
Are you following this, Tom? I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah.
I kind of get what he's asking. First off, like podcast, podcast Karen, as I refer to him, and I have him on record saying.
What is that a reference to, podcast Karen? What is that? You were saying that for a long time. I didn't realize you meant Carl. Hilarious, but what does it mean?
It means it's fucking hilarious.
Duh.
Because he's
basically a Karen who does nothing but really complain about every single show. And I get that it's a roast show, but I don't mean to talk. I apologize if it sounds like I'm speaking ill of your boy here.
Go ahead, please do.
He's very whiny and bitchy. And like the idea of WATP was probably it's a good concept
until it came to you.
Start off a good concept,
and then it loses. I know.
Well, and then and then old podcast Karen started kissing up to Anthony Cumia, and it basically turned into like a ripoff of Opie and Anthony, which itself is a low grade version.
Well, it was a ripoff of Anthony by design. Like it was even before Cumia was involved. That was the Jocktober concept, which you approve of. And as we stated, you enjoy it, except when it comes to you, and then it's just not funny anymore.
If
I mean, listen. I mean, but here's the
eyes, come here.
if I do go ahead and clap back, which is my job because I'm a comedian, that's what I'm supposed to do. Then it becomes like, oh, how could he do that? So what you're accusing me of, they actually do. But anyway, podcast Karen has said he does not want me on his show. I'm not invited on his show. So fuck him.
If you want it, do you want to be on the show?
Fuck
because
no.
All right. So then it's not Carl keeping you from it. Carl has disinvited me from this thing I don't want to go to.
So first off, that would never. I'm just saying, that would never.
Why would a comedian not want to go against his nemesis? Why would you? I mean, you talk about wanting eyes and streams and views. Like, this is it, Tom. You don't get to pick your audience. Bob Marley died hating his audience because he wanted his audience to look like him. But white people loved him. He started playing places they couldn't find him. You don't get to pick your audience.
That's probably
this is your audience. This is it. It's these people. We know who you are. We support you. We would spend money on it, but it takes getting past the ego and just leaning into it.
Tom, can I suggest something?
Go ahead.
So Hughezy, for fuck's sake, sorry, I want to say more than 5 words in this show, if that's right. Hughezy suggested something earlier. No, I love it.
Tom and I are the most verbose guys in the whole Dabbleverse. It's a bad combo.
So Hughezy made a bad suggestion earlier. He said, why don't you just go on his show and then all of the fans later will go and watch your show? Incorrect. Yeah. Why don't you do something which the ingenious Stuttering John did, which was have 1 episode on his channel, 1 episode on Carl's channel, and why don't you have him on yours first? So people don't go, no, it's fine. We saw him on the first episode. We don't need to see the second one. There you go.
Yeah, look how well it worked out for Stuttering John. Stuttering who?
The actor?
Yeah, exactly.
One of the only episodes that I remotely liked him was when Carl left and the sun was setting on him and it's getting darker and darker.
Well, any episode. I know
you're only.
And any episode that podcast Karen leaves and fucks off, it automatically makes it like 1,000 times better. So I agree with you on that one, Echo.
Yeah, I'm gonna say though, the podcast Karen sold me a ticket because the clips he played of Stuttering John's stand-up was so unfunny that if I ever got the chance to see him, I'm going to see that stand-up live because it's like Jason Statham when he has a new film out. It's called The Sandwich Maker, and it's like, what are you doing with my fucking sandwich? And then he karate kicks a guy in the trailer, and you go, yeah, I'm going to see that. That looks like a big pile of shit. It's going to be brilliant. I genuinely think, Tom, that you taking Eccles' idea, which I will now claim as my own via editing once the podcast version comes out of this, that I think that you should have Carl on your show in a early evening time slot, and you will literally visibly see your subscription count go up, and you will be able to monetize, you'll be able to profit. And all joking aside, Tom, it's always funny, and I think Adam would agree, it's always funny to do the whole, oh, Tom Myers isn't funny stuff, all that shit. You actually are funny. It's just a running joke that people have piled on too much, like the steel toe stuff. I think that you having Carl on would shut that down. Maybe you could roast Carl. He wouldn't be able to handle it, which could then go viral. And we're talking Tom Myers mania. You could tell your racist jokes all around the world.
I would love to tell jokes about how white people suck. Yes, YouTube's terms of service.
But no, you're right. He's funny, but it's not in the way that he knows. He doesn't know when he's being funny, and that can make you feel a bit
Adam,
exposed or vulnerable.
Adam, I have to correct. I have to seriously clap back on this.
Please.
I mean, yes, I do. I do know when I'm being funny because, like, contrary to popular belief and what you hear in the chat and on Reddit, I've been doing this for a long time. Have I been doing a lot of stand-up recently? No, because I've had some personal stuff on the home front. I've been taking care of the last year or so. I won't
Don't
get
laugh,
into that.
Ekul.
That's kind of winding down. So I'm looking to get back out and get started again. But I'm following a formula that has worked before, where I had previous detractors on another podcast, and instead of buckling to them, instead of kneeling to them, I went ahead and went after them. I sort of like leaned into some of their fan base. And as a result, some of the fan base who used to shit on me ended up becoming legit fans.
Great. So everything they said,
they've ended up like streaming my content.
So why wouldn't you do that with Carl?
They've ended up coming to see me. I mean, I'm doing that now. I'm doing that now. And I didn't have to go on this other podcast show. I didn't have to go on. I didn't have to go on this show.
But what's the negative about going on? What's the downside?
I didn't have to embrace. Well, the downside is what I did worked before, so it's going to work again.
Not knowing exactly why or how you're funny is not a diss, and it's not a weakness. It's a thing a lot of great comedians have. I know I'm not a particularly funny person, but sometimes if I have a script that's funny, if they're laughing and I don't know why, it's fine. It means the line worked, the reading worked. I don't have to necessarily be in on it. For me, for you, I love the posture. I love the kind of tension. I love the delivery. We're talking about the getting high at the end. Like, it's classic to slow down the punchline and go low, but you go fast and go high. And I laugh at all of that. I laugh at your reactions. I laugh at there's a part of you that's not present while you're telling the joke. You're watching the audience. You're there. It's kind of happening. There's an interesting body language, and I don't think there's anything wrong with any of that.
Well, whenever I'm awake, my brain does like 12 different things. So like I'm always processing stuff. So
what about who are these broadcasters? Would you go on there with Blatt?
Hit me up on Instagram, and I'll direct you to my contact person. I'll direct you to my agent.
Tom, were you
who does exist by the way?
Were you a fan of the TV show Mad Men?
Who are we asking?
Sorry, Tom.
Never seen it. Sorry.
Oh, well, Christian's wife wrote it.
Oh, okay.
And also, she's a hot fucking chick with big tits, and I don't mean that in the vulgar way. He'll take that out of context.
Will the doxing ever stop, Hughezy?
No. Also, did you know that...
what's wrong with big tits? Nothing.
I like a fart box. You know?
No, different strokes for different folks, you know?
Anyway, we got some chats to catch up on here. Thanks for the dough box from Nice Podcast, Stupid. Sorry, Tom was goofing on Chad Little League rules.
I mean, listen, I will say this. I am a huge Chad Zumock fan.
Oh.
I am a huge Chad Zumock fan. Like
what do you like about him?
I listen to his show religiously. I like the way he comes straight out and tells it like it is. And he
can you give me an example of that?
He comes at you very prepared. Like he goes into his own history with all these podcasters that with whom he has he
decided to look me up on Wikipedia 45 minutes into our interview.
I mean, listen, that's would I have done something a little different? Yeah, absolutely. But listen, I mean, Chad has absolutely won me over. He's great at in my
he's 100% won me over.
What he does, yeah.
I'm just curious, what are some of his convictions or his stands that you were inspired by or that you believe in?
Just completely doing his own thing, like going his own way, just general.
Well, that's not by choice. He's been isolated.
But I mean, he does do well on a show, though. That's the thing. Like he does do well, and he works. Also,
that's true.
He does get a lot of comedy gigs. He's got.
I keep saying that.
People joke that he's just an opener, but like if you open for the right comic, yeah, I mean you can get.
I say that everywhere.
A shit ton of money. So like ideally, like someone like Stuttering John, with whom I could agree, 100% politically. Like he's lost me. he's lost me, like after like a lot of the stuff he's done, the way he handled everything. And so when it came down to between, Chad and Stuttering John, like I said, Chad, even though he and I have different views on things, Chad ended up winning me over. Plus, like, Chad's always been good to me. Like, I'm happy to support his show. I've done his show a number of times as well. So it's like, I don't get all, like, he's doing well.
What you just said is why all of these people are in this chat trying to troll me, because I don't get to pick and choose the things I like about people. I am responsible for everything that happened on the House of Cards set. And that's how you treat me about my relationship with Carl. That's the line. You are responsible. I didn't hold you to. I didn't criticize you for working with on WATP. Sure, I'm just talking about the general consensus is that I'm coming from. You've been nothing but fair to me and nice to me, and I feel like I've done the same. And that's not the issue. That's what we're talking about. I don't get to say I'm okay with the Catholic Church and everything they do because they've always been nice to me. That's not how this stuff works. That wasn't what I said. That was not what I said, though. It wasn't? No. I said like I like a lot of the stuff the Catholic Church has done, like in terms of their charitable work, but they've done a lot of very evil shit as well. Right. It's like there's a quote by Mario Cuomo where he said, if you agree with me on, I think 8 out of 12 things, I want your vote. If you agree with me on 12 out of 12 things, I want you to go see a psychiatrist. Like I said, there's nobody agrees with anybody 100% on something. And I stand by that. I've never wavered from that at all. Like I said earlier, the only person I agree with 100% is myself. And you know what? I can mellow. I can change with time. My opinion on something can change if I get new information. So, well, we're not all monoliths. No, we're not. But we're asked to be. And of course, it sucks. I am not allowed to. I am responsible for everything Kevin Spacey's ever done because I was in a room with him. And this chat has made it very clear that if you're willing to have an open mind, then you are now responsible for the catalytic converter situation that Chad had. And you're a supporter of it. That's the general consensus. How do you know I wasn't responsible? You're right. I don't. Nobody does.
Adam, here's a Jacob Bryan asked for $300 bucks. Adam, do you think Chad Zermatt has talent?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I gotta say, I always thought that because Chad, much like myself, has a habit of falling into depressive states, and the sign of depressive states is you react angrily to stuff like, oh really, Adam, a gray fucking shirt while you've got black hair? That's fucking stupid. Instead of going, hey Adam. And I think that's Chad's problem, that he reacts angrily to people.
It's what I was just, poorly accusing Tom of, but just on steroids. And I told it to his face. I said, Chad, as soon as it becomes about you, everything changes. Everything you say about everyone else, I'm with you. And then when somebody has even the slightest criticism about you, you lose your mind and become dangerous.
Here's the thing. Well, here's the thing, though. Nobody becomes a comedian just because they're mentally with it. Like, comedians, just by nature, are generally very, very fucked up people. Like, the idea, like, basically, here's what we do. We basically say, okay, I'm going to go on stage and command the attention of a room full of strangers for however, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes, like any amount of time. Like mentally, you have to be there has to be like something inherently wrong with you to be able to want to do that. And look, I always say the idea of show business, that becoming famous, doing a podcast, doing a live stream, it is a mental illness. The only people who are the healthy people in that equation are people like me who recognize it as a mental illness. But it's what we do with it, and like how we react, and the end result that comes out of it.
Are you hung though? That's the real question, because you've got a deep voice.
Again, You will find out if you sign up to patreon.com/Tom Myers. You will find all that out. I don't give that
Smart
shit
man.
away for free.
Adam, this is from Jacob Ryan S. for thanks for the $2. Adam, yes or no? Are you a gay man? Skull.
Yes.
Good. This might be a little personal, so we can ignore it if you want to. We ignore this.
Adam, do you resent your parents? They used you.
Me, I'll answer that because my real name's Adam. No.
Okay. Well, I get what you're trying to say, and it is just furthering Tom's point that, in my mind, you couldn't stop me from going to open calls, going to auditions, and trying to take the train into the city and be an actor. My parents could not stop me, so they supported me. So I always say, no, I was always in control. This is something I always wanted since I was born. But I would be naive to say that I didn't somehow learn that performing or that thing would give me love from my parents. Something showed me that that was an avenue to receiving love, right? That's what happens when you're that young. So I'm not going to pretend they didn't have a part of it. They could have not supported it. They could have steered me in another direction. I don't think they would have won. But yes, something showed me that early on, and I would be stupid to say it didn't.
There you go. I got a Kevin Spacey question for you, not about that stuff.
Anything you want.
He was in the Oscar-winning classic Superman Returns, the really good one. Everybody loved that film.
He was Lex Luthor, right?
Spoiler alert. But on the DVD, and I couldn't believe they kept this in. There was a footage on the DVD making of where he was literally bullying one of the actors and like laughing at him and making jokes at him in front of the whole crew, and they were all sort of laughing at this big bulky fucking rugby player guy because he said something stupid. And I just thought, was it known sort of behind the scenes that this guy's kind of obnoxious, or should we say like kind of like condescending on sets?
It had been known since, at least I knew, since I was a teenager at Strasbourg, and he was living in the West Village, that he was a promiscuous gay man. And that was pretty much the extent of it. Yeah, that he liked men, and that he wasn't public about it, and that he was like a real Lothario, like not just like, I'm looking for a man to marry. He was like on the prowl, which, by the way, doesn't strike anyone as anything when you're talking about a famous, successful actor. Like, you really didn't think much of it. It's when you find out that on the set of House of Cards, he wasn't allowed alone with background actors. That's why you probably didn't see male actors. It's when you find out that the crew knew and would put him in vans by himself or make sure there was never a situation where he was left alone with a male background actor, because it would not end well. And when you find out that, that's when you start to, I don't know, that's when, your whole world changes and you realize where you're at.
Because that's the thing that's mental, is that it's literally on the DVD, and the people, nobody really picked up on this. But anyway, Cupcakes, member for Cupcakes Corner, member for 7 months. Thank you, Ekul. Sounds like Tom went to the Chad Zumach School of I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah, you can do it for 40 years and still suck. Time is not.
So, okay, let me look at the image. So, hang on, put that chat back up a moment. I just want to do something here. I'm doing the
you piece of shit, Cupcake.
So,
hey, leave Cupcake alone.
This is 2025. I started in 2001. I subtract 2001. Hang on. 2001, 2025, character contains 24. If I remember my elementary school math correctly, 24 is greater than.
Is he
20.
doing his taxes? What is happening?
What's taxes?
Well, again, Adam, I'm playing to your point. Whereas like people sort of expect you to be a certain way, they expect you to take a position, they expect you to be a certain way, and that's just me saying, fuck that shit. I have no beef.
I still got a lot of cum in my balls.
I have no beef with American Cupcake, by the way. So that was a very, very salient point.
Did you get your name Cupcake because Bob Levy mispronounced your name?
Yes.
And then you just went with it? You see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what
I mean, Cuppa Joe, he was. That's what.
That's
it got
how you
confused
handle
with.
it.
I mean,
That's
Cuppa Joe.
so funny that he just kept it. And so many years later, Bob's gone. Cupcake's got his own show, and that's his name. I love it.
Up in this, thanks for the $7. Oh, well, I'll get half a pint in this day and age, right, guys? But seriously, let's get on with the message. Fun fact, all paninis are not named Adam, but all Adams are paninis.
I mean,
they got us both.
It's true.
Yeah. It was also the first name ever, so sorry. Ekul sounds pretty as fuck. Drop the filter, lad. Thanks from MGD for £2, which is about $7 American, right, Ekul? Ekul.
Yep. Always pounds over dollars. Thank you very much, AMG.
Thank you. Lemmy says free Harvey Weinstein.
Oh God.
Yeah. And I hope this doesn't come across as sexist to Lemmy, but I say free the Florida 2. She has giant milkers. Dawn,
I mean, just go to any beach in Miami, man. Like you could see plenty of Florida 2s down there if you get my meaning. But
hey-oh, this guy hits bitches. Dawn, thanks for the $2. Beware Adam Hitchman went to the Quad School of Trolling.
Well, I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, well, Quad went to the School of Rolling. You know what I'm talking about?
He's not even
I have no
quadriplegic.
beef. I have no beef with Quad or Hughezy or anybody on the screen right now. So
say my name. Say my name.
Say his name.
Ekul, would you like to read this one?
Yep, Raper Butt for $1.99. Does the show have any good drops? No.
Oh, she took it up the ass.
Hey, listen, facts are facts, man.
Yeah, Crumbum just became a new member. Thanks very much. A photograph with Louis C.K. there, notoriously a cunt. Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid. Thanks for the $2. Any of you panelists ever lie down with a woman? Not me. Ekul?
Nope. Guys only.
Tom?
Fairly recently, in fact. Speaking of which, tell your mom I said hi and I hope her jaw feels better. But that's the standard response I give to anybody. Come on, it's a joke. I'm a comedian. Remember?
Nothing like a nice vagina.
This is true.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's a terrible joke, but for me, it's the that I laugh at, and only you can provide me with that. So I think it's a win.
I'm from Baltimore. That's just how we talk.
There we go. Cupcakes, American Corner, whatever the fuck.
So
Cupcakes Corner with American Cupcake. Wow, Adam knows Cupcakes lore.
Thanks for the £71. Adam knows. Yeah, see, basically, Adam Busch is intelligent. He's in shape. He's smart. He wears good grey shirts, but he's intelligent. And that's not something that's going to work out for you in the Dabbleverse.
Yeah, I know. You're
unfortunately.
Right. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, Cupcake, you're getting around, man. You know, you're doing your thing, brother.
And a final donation from MGD for $81 American. Thanks to the Trump conversion rates. How's your feud with Steel Toe Tom? Any payoff?
Plenty of payoff. Just watching his reaction and watching him lose it and melt down whenever people send him clips of me is just it's manna from heaven for me. Whenever
why does he melt down? What's his reaction like?
It's like, I can't believe it. So numero uno Josh Denny fan sends me more Tom Myers clips, and then I just fucking lose it. And like, I love that shit. I love it.
Me too.
There we go. I've got one final video message to play. about our friend Carl from WATP, and we're going to say goodbye to everybody. So why don't we end by giving our plugs? Adam, I can't believe I'm getting to speak to you. I used to watch Buffy. I'm a fan of your intelligence on WATP. What plugs do you have for these boys and girls and Florida 2s?
WATP on Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. We will be covering everything that happened at Hackamania and more. I believe, I hope I'm not spoiling this, Carl is going to have an emergency Hackamania episode at some point later today where everyone that was there is going to jump on, talk a little bit about what happened. I encourage everyone to check out Tom Myer's comedy. I encourage everybody to check out Dole Pineapples whenever they can. The sweetest pineapple in the bunch. And there's a record by Ali Gertz called Peeled Back that I'm producing. And Hughezy, if you go to the Hard Rock Cafe, that's in the Omni thing, I think, in Belfast, you're going to see a guitar that I signed on the wall there above the chicken fingers.
Wait, you've been in Belfast before?
Yeah, we used to play there all the time.
That seems kind of gay. Ekul, any plugs, baby?
Instead of a plug, a final question for Adam Busch. I was watching your show with Chad, and everyone was asking, so are you going to review this? Now, I've seen you review Jake. I've seen you review the other one that was really good. Quad. Are you going to review every one that you go on if it's interesting enough? So, for example, definitely that one. No, not this one. the one.
No, I'm pointing to Lemmy's. I'm pointing to Lemmy's chat. Hit the like button. Oh. Definitely.
Dislike button. As far as you know, is the plan to review that show at some point?
Which show,
Adam?
Which show?
This fucking Chad Zumot one, which you was on. That we were.
Your interview with Chad.
They did.
We did. We did it at
You've already done it? Oh shit! Oh fuck!
And I think it'll come out pretty soon. I posted a clip of it on my Instagram at Reagan.com, and here's the fascinating thing: is that Chad's cool. Like, he's cool with it. We've talked. We can still hang. It's not, we're just talking. He's proud of what he did. I'm proud of what I did. He's a touring comic. What's the big deal? It doesn't have to be like you were saying Aaron is with everything. It's fine. So that shows you our reactions to how these people are attacking us are very often just ourselves, right?
Perfect. Thank you.
And Ekul, your plugs?
Yeah, Ekul Pineapple, live in half an hour.
Okay, Tom, what about your plugs?
Tom Myers versus the rest of the world, available on the aforementioned Patreon, my YouTube channel, and wherever you get your podcasts. Watch this space, as they say, because I'm working on, I'll likely be starting a new podcast. Yes. Similar to Tom Myers versus the rest of the world, but it goes a little deeper into it is a little bit of a different format. I am not the number one mic on the show, which will make it a little easier for me. I'll go ahead and make the announcement.
Who's the number one?
The announcement will be made, and you can share it. You can look for it on my Instagram, my various socials.
Is it Mr. Kevin Spacey?
My various. You'll have to find out.
It is.
You'll have to find out. TomMyers.us is the website. You can find me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, which I highly recommend. It was Twitter before Twitter was taken over by Elon Musk and made incredibly like racist and like Nazi Germany in 1937, which is why I moved to Blue Sky. It is awesome. Go ahead and follow me there.
I want to thank everybody for watching, and we're all going to do a wave goodbye. And we're going to play this one final video before we play the fucking end stream thing. And I'm actually going to go out to the pub tonight. I've started the engine, and this car is going to keep driving. So bye-bye, everybody.
Peace out. Lots of love.
Hey, Carl. It's the Dark Knight Rises Tony from whatever my show is called. So anyway, I heard your dick smells. Have a great show.
Brilliant.